Good day, good afternoon, good evening, good night, whatever the case might be, and a welcome to Magic from the Ashes and a scene that is hmm, taking place the day after the giant operation that was done against Iron Man Solutions. And, well, a the new Julie Sloat, shall we say, the more reserved, more hmm, she's been she hasn't been sleeping much. She's been meditating a lot, actually. But today she does have a smile on her face. She's making quite a lot of food, vegan food. It smells great. She is sitting in the main area, and she's yeah. The food is cooking, and she's been she's done with most of it, and she is currently doing yoga. It doesn't look as much as yoga as it does strength training. This looks more like less like a yoga class of relaxation and more like something you would see at a temple in the East, like Shaolin things, because it's supporting your whole body weight with your hands, and there's quite a bit of more strength training, it seems, than anything else.
Um, yeah, she's doing that. Ava will walk in. Her nose basically buried in a book as well, is rather common for Ava. Um, she she looks up as she sees some movement and I don't know, stares at Julie for a moment. But she won't really interrupt her on in her practicing, because A, it's impolite. B, if she would break Julie's concentration, who knows what might happen. Which is not something she wants to have on her conscience. She does not look actually quite as happy as Julie. She's bags under her eyes. She seems to be somewhat worried, somewhat depressed might even be the right word for it. And she'll silently walk into the kitchen to grab a cup of coffee and then walks back out and goes to sit on one of the couches and just watching Julie for a bit and from time to time just, brushing through the book, but doesn't seem to be that focused on it as she usually is.
Julie will just. She's standing on her arms at the moment. She just plants her feet down very quietly. She stands up, puts her hands together in front of her chest, and just bows slightly with her eyes closed, of course. And she slowly opens her eyes. She says, "Oh, hey, Abed. Hey, want some food? I've made a lot. No, we're not necessarily planning a celebration, but close. Wanna?" And at that point, she begins to just take in what I was looking like. She just, oh, right. Do you want something to eat?
In a bit, yeah, thank you. Um,
Julie will go over and prepare two bowls of, well, a lot of vegan shit.
how have you been doing?
Well, it's always something to take a life, but honestly, everything tells me that this is for the better. There's an imbalance, and the technocracy is part of that imbalance. But, well, I did meditate quite on it, a bit on it before going to sleep. It helps. Doesn't make it easier, but thinking that these people could be us. But if we can't taste, if you can't face that, then we might as well just give up, which I can't.
Mhm.
But you don't like it, right? You're, it's hard for you, harder than most, right?
Oh, that's drugs. I wouldn't assume it's worse on me than it is on others.
Well,
So
it seems to be that way, honestly. But
I don't. I wish there was a way we could do this without killing. But
if you pause us for a moment, looks at her. I've talked about that with Ava, and I've been
Nausicaa,
thinking.
I presume.
Nausicaa, sorry, yeah. There might be a way, actually. It's going to require a lot. I'm not saying it's going to be easy to do, but what if instead of fighting them, we just made them less willing to fight? What if we made them. Magic can do a lot of things, right? What if
Yeah,
we just enhanced certain things that would make their, well, whatever little compassion they might have, just dialed it up to like 100, and they simply can't bring themselves to harm anyone?
their minds have been reprogrammed. They don't think like us anymore
I know,
at all.
but what could be reprogrammed could possibly be changed back
I
to
tried.
something else. Well, you tried, but all of us together haven't tried.
True.
At this point, Rika will walk in carrying a book, kind of looking through it. The book is most likely something along the lines of Magic for Dummies or something like that. He closes the book, looks around, goes, "Huh, something smells pretty good here."
Oh, yeah, please help yourself.
Thanks. He'll walk over and dish himself up, look around. So there was a lot of movement last night. What was going on?
Oh, we totally kicked ass. Well, you know those dark suit guys? We totally just cleaned their clocks. We went and infiltrated a place they're having. Stopped some of their crazier shit. At least for a while.
Cool. That sounds helpful. I mean, I don't have much experience with them besides them trying to either kill me or capture me, but hey, I mean, sounds like a good idea to me.
Well, it's no one should be forced to do anything before they're ready. So, I mean,
Yeah,
focus on studies and stuff, and that's fine. Come here. Julie will
alright.
just clap the space next to her on the couch. She has two bowls. She's given one to Abba, and she's sitting in the couch again, lotus position, arm or legs folded. She's sitting there eating. She has a big smile on her face as you approach.
Yeah, Rika will sit down on the couch, look at the food he dished up, and go, "This is vegan, isn't it?"
Oh yeah, yeah. It's yeah. I've some things happened when I got here, and I've taken the step fully from just pescatarian to not only vegetarian, but yeah, vegan.
Huh.
Well, it helps me with the training. It's easier to, yeah. And you can see that Julie has been, like, you don't have too much. Like, Julie seems to be someone who does work out a bit for a girl.
Hmm.
I mean, you, if you had known her for longer, you would know that it's fairly recent. But for you, it just looks like she probably jogs a lot, maybe goes to the gym every once in a while. Maybe.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But it's like maybe she plays like a sport or something. It's not
Yeah.
like, but there is a little.
And meanwhile, Ava's been looking kind of curious at this new person that she has not met yet. Um, since Julie isn't immediately jumping up and being like, "Who are you? What are you doing here?" She presumes this is someone new, but she's not quite sure. So she'll stand up and, yeah, reaches out her hand. And it's like, "Hi, I'm Ava. I don't believe we've met."
Oh right. This is Rika. Me and Nazik. Well, we saved them. Well, Julie just seems to chew a bit on that. I almost I almost hit him with a. Well, that's not important. What's important is we saved him and we got him here and everything's good now.
Rika will shake the hand. Will shake the hand offered, and then sort of finish Julie's story by saying, "Oh yeah, she almost hit me with a car. That's how we met."
Yeah. Sorry about that once more, but yeah.
It's okay. I'm just giving you shit.
It's
Oh, that's fine. She
some
smiles quite warmly at Rika this time.
it's something that tends to happen occasionally. Not just cars. Sometimes it's guns.
I'm just glad it wasn't a gun, and that the car stopped in time.
Hmm. It happens when you put a lot of people who are a bit on edge in the same space.
Yeah, I can definitely imagine. So, is everyone okay after whatever happened last night? I mean, sounds like it may have been tough.
Um, Theo
Some
got
stuff. Yeah.
hurt a little, but well, no, actually a lot, but he got fixed. I think otherwise, Nausicaa took a blow, but nothing too serious.
Well, this stuff we can do. It does. We did kind of a matrix thing. Julie blinks a couple of times. She says, it was strange. We manipulated time for. Trust me, when some of us get together, we can do some quite strange things, but it makes a lot of these things a lot more manageable.
Hmm.
Plus, I mean, we've a lot of us have been training in certain ways. Yeah.
Yeah, sounds like I have a lot of catching up to do, so to
That's fine.
speak.
It's totally fine, dude. Like you don't have to you don't have to strain yourself. It's better if you just take it in your own pace. Like
Definitely. Most of us have been studying. Well, I think me and Nausicaa have been studying for over a year now, and Julie, you're close to a year here, right?
yeah,
So,
but the thing is, once you get a hang of certain things, there are also ways. I'll admit I did kind of have to get quite a few pushes from people. Most of all Nausicaa, honestly, but I do appreciate it. But once you get a hold of some of these things, you can actually speed up the way in which you learn, the speed in which you absorb new information. It's quite handy, actually.
That does sound pretty useful. I'll have to look into that.
I mean, I did one thing once where I was just like, I read through books like super fast. It was kind of ridiculous. It was awesome, but well, you know, magic being what it is, I don't do it like every day. So
Yeah, I'm still kind of struggling with the idea that we that magic has disadvantages, so to speak. But I figure I'll figure it out in time.
You
well,
should just do what feels right. That's the best way to learn it in the beginning. Do what feels natural to you.
plus you'll find out about the side effects soon enough.
Mhm. That sounds a bit menacing, but I'll take your
Well,
word for it.
It's not something you can avoid, and it comes to all of us differently, and each time it comes differently. So there's not much we can prepare you for.
the most important thing is to have some of us around, then we can mitigate most of it, and then there really isn't a problem. Nausicaa is quite eager with, you know, well, magic in general, but I remember once where uh, she manipulated gravity and stuff, and suddenly gravity didn't really apply to her. She kind of fell up into the ceiling. It was strange, but yeah.
That's kind of cool. Not gonna lie.
Not when you're the one stuck to the ceiling.
Yeah, okay, I can see that. I thought you meant like she did it on purpose or something.
Well, that was what she tried to do, but sometimes, well, there's a backlash.
Oof. Yeah, that's I suppose fair. I'm still kind of wrapping my head around everything, but I feel like if we're, I guess the technical term would be magi. Uh, we shouldn't have human constraints like that. So,
Oh, yes, you should.
oh,
Well,
You're
think
still
of
a
it this
human.
way. Some of the shit we saw yesterday was really fucking horrifying, and that's done with someone who thinks that the only way forward is to just disregard any human, well, concern there is and improve everyone, whatever means necessary, and don't think of the consequences. I'm not saying that's what you're suggesting. I'm saying that it can be potentially slippery slope. Just something to keep in mind. Just, yeah.
We are still human beings, and we have a human mind, a human soul, a human body. Sometimes it's the body that can't take the stress of the magic. Sometimes it's the mind or the soul. You'll have many challenges. We all have. Some some of us already faced, well, most of us already faced challenges of their own. It's not just the outside world, but it's yourself that sometimes you have to fight against.
I suppose you both have a point. I was just saying that I was more speaking in, I guess, general terms that as magi we should rise beyond human ability. Perhaps, definitely not human morality, though, if that is understandable at least. I feel like we have kind of a responsibility to do what's right to humanity, I guess, because they don't have these abilities. So I don't know. I'm still kind of wrapping my head around the whole thing.
It is difficult to accept, especially in the beginning.
Yeah, I've been awakened. I believe the term is for about a week, if that.
Don't worry. We'll take very good care of you. And she smiles very warmly.
When it comes to magic, Nausicaa and Julie are definitely the most developed of all of us here. So you should feel free to go to them, talk to them. But
Julie's head slowly turns towards Ava.
what's really
She has a smile on her face. She begins to. That's a good one. You met yourself in Nausicaa, right?
no, both of you have better abilities in teaching others than I have. That has been clear ever since the beginning.
Oh. Um. She generally looks taken aback somewhat. She just says, "Oh, right. Oh, okay. So, oh, well, um." She looks confused again and just looks at Rika and just says, "So, um, yeah, like I said before, and apparently, uh, if you want, like, tutoring or something, I can help you out."
Yeah, that would definitely be helpful. I'm willing to learn from about anyone here who has more experience than me. So, I mean,
Hmm.
any help is appreciated right now.
What's most important in the beginning is that you find out how you look at magic. Each one of us practices magic in a different way, in different form. We have different beliefs about how we do magic. It's hard to learn from someone who doesn't at least somewhat understand your ideas. For instance, um, Julie operates very much through meditation, yoga. Um, there's also someone else, Kat, who talks to spirits in objects, makes them do things. And then there is Nausicaa, who does a lot through scientific methods, and I work through rituals and dreams.
Hmm.
Language mostly, actually, but that's a very broad understanding. That is because all of us have a certain belief that our way is, I wouldn't necessarily say the right way in general, but the right way to us. It's our truth. What's important for you is that you find your own truth. You find what you're strong at, what you're good at, but most importantly, what you believe, how magic is created, how you see magic, how you can work out your magic. Once you know that, it is easier to connect with some of us that may understand your way of doing magic better than others.
Okay.
Ava kind of looks at Julie to see if she's like saying the right thing.
Hmm.
Because
In a way, there is only one way to do magic, which is your own, and everyone else is kind of irrelevant because I tend to think of it like the universe is connected into all of us, and we all have a specific attunement to the universe, unique to every one person. Kind of like how, well, there are different religions and there are many, many members of the same church. No one in that church will see God the same way. Like, if you go down the pew in any church in America, everyone in that church will see God, maybe very similarly, but they will all have a fairly unique take on what God does and is and works, right?
Yeah, I definitely could see that. I haven't been to church often myself. I don't think I've actually been at all. Uh, but
Me
I
neither.
definitely feel like there are there is a cosmic force out there that one can tap tap into. I just don't see why everyone doesn't have at least a potential to tap into it, even if they can't at this point in time.
Maybe they do. And maybe the universe has chosen them not to be, for one reason or another.
Maybe their souls aren't ready for it yet.
Or that.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Discerning the entire function of existence would probably take too long and be something that many have tried, but no one has ever done. So I would, again, suggest maybe focusing on, well, yourself to begin with.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, I do need to. You're definitely right on me needing to concentrate more on myself right now than others. I'm just trying to work. I was just trying to work out how I tapped into this force, so to speak.
I mean, I'm not saying you should begin to meditate, but meditation in itself is a good way of focusing on yourself and calm down, which can help. Have you ever tried it?
Uh, I tried it once a while back, and I got bored within 5 minutes and started reading a book.
Hmm.
I figured it's not for everyone, Julie. Some people do get agitated by sitting still, doing nothing. Maybe running around might be the right way, you know? That's what I said. Try to do what feels good to you.
Well, sure, but I'm just thinking.
No, it's fine. I I mean, everyone, like you said, everyone practices in a different way. I guess meditation for me would not be one of them.
Oh,
So,
that's cool.
what are your hobbies? What is something you like to do?
Uh, usually as I said, I would read books. Lot of lot of novels, a lot of informational books. I was working as a paralegal before all the junior paralegal before all this,
Hmm.
but that was primarily to try to get into college for criminology and CSI sort of things. Um,
Well, words are very powerful. Maybe you should try something like that. Something with words.
yeah,
Maybe you should help out Rika. It sounds like the two of you are more in line.
Hmm, I'm not sure. Maybe, though I think it's more in Nausicaa's alley and not mine. But we are both hermetics, and hermetics do a lot with words. I used to study English. Well, I was going to study English here in New York.
Oh wow. Where are you from then?
Sweden.
Huh. Okay. That that's actually kind of cool.
Yeah.
Um, I what was I gonna say? I know Nazuka mentioned I have some sort of other language in Japanese in my grandmother's spell book. Think she said it was Enochian or something like that. I don't know. I
Oh,
can't read it.
well, if you want to know, um, I know a little bit of Enochian, so I might be able to help you out.
That would be really helpful. Thank you.
Enochian is the language of, well, it's the language, the ancient language, the one language, the first, the language of the angels, language of creation. It's a very powerful word.
Hmm. Well, that explains so much about my grandmother and why she knew. She seemed to know a lot more than she let on to. And also scares me a little bit. He kind of grins at the end of that. But I suppose I had to learn a few more things before I
Yeah, definitely.
try anything.
So, what else do you like? I know Tasha's working on IDs and stuff, but like,
Mhm.
did you have any other family in the city, like wife, girlfriend, sister, something?
No, I was an only child, and I most of my family really didn't raise me. My parents worked for my parents' work mainly took them away from home a lot, so my grandmother raised me. She's dead, obviously, because apparently she keeps appearing to me.
Yeah,
Uh,
I'm sorry.
it's fine. I've been trying to figure out how it happened, but uh, I kind of have other things on my mind right now.
Yeah, like if you need to relax, help some ways with it, I'll help out any way I can.
If you want to find out, I might be able to help with that.
Really? That would be that would be immensely helpful because I at least want to know what happened.
As Julie said, one of the things that we can do is mess with time. I am rather proficient at it.
Hmm.
Do you have anything that belonged to her?
Yeah, I have her spell book and a wand we kind of made together as a. I thought it was just kind of a bonding experience that was kind of a just like a joke almost, but I had fun making it, so it's
Um,
kind of a
there
souvenir, I
might
guess.
be more to that wand, and
Yeah,
you might wanna look at that because she might have made it for herself and for you, for safekeeping for the future. Keep that in mind.
does
I
sound
will.
like she was grooming you.
Oh yeah.
That does not surprise me anymore. I
Well,
surprised I didn't catch it sooner.
that means you go in a little bit more prepared than the rest of us. I can assure you.
Okay, taking into account the fact that everyone's ignoring me, where are we?
Oh, I wasn't at my computer. We're in the common room.
Okay. Let's bring in the cameo. So, as the three of you have this wonderful conversation with one of our newcomers, you hear loud footsteps and a deep, raspy voice coming up the stairs, singing something in a language that, as far as I'm aware, only Ava speaks. And these deep sounds, this amalgamation of sounds, gets louder and louder as a figure that at least two of you know and to a certain degree even like. And if I could find the fucking overlay, because it's been a while, this huge man shows up. Brief description for the newcomer. Boris is a bear with a human face, for lack of a better comparison. He's almost 7 feet tall, weighs roughly, I don't know, 500 pounds.
Jesus.
Yeah, he is, for all intents and purposes, a living mountain. Dressed in this patchwork robe and with his fur hat carrying a huge amount of paper bags with various items sticking out, a leak, a newspaper, like groceries in the broader sense of the term. He takes a sharp left, goes to the kitchen. You hear a number of bags dropping on various surfaces. And the head of this huge man pops out. Looks at Ava, looks at Julie. Girls, you hungry?
Oh, Julie will just pipe up and she'll just point like, no, no, I made a food. There's lots of it. You can have some. Boris will register that this food does not contain meat in any way, which would probably register to him as she has not made food. She has made salad or appetizers or snacks of some weird description that is not food. Probably.
Rabbit food.
Yeah, rabbit food. He points at the bowl or the whatever the salad is in. And no, no, no. Food. Not lettuce. Food.
Julie just kind of giggles a bit. Right, sure. Sure, we can eat some food.
And
Rika, have you met Boris yet?
No, I haven't. He.
Boris scans the three of you, and something just doesn't click because he's seen a face that he didn't see before. He looks at Ava with a bit of a disappointed face. Another one?
That's not a bad thing. Boris, this is Rika. Rika, this is Boris. Boris is one of the original inhabitants of this chantry. He and Tasha helped save the first of us. Well, saved the first of us.
Yeah, nice to meet you, Boris. Rika will kind of give him a little wave from the couch, looking might been intimidated by the presence of the large man.
Yeah, Boris.
Rika being tiny, more or less.
Compared to Boris, everyone's tiny.
Hey,
Yeah, and Boris extends his hand to you and says, I am Boris. also called, well, Spain, but mainly Boris. I am. He looks at Ava. Crazy old geezer of the house, as some call me. He, you see, he's trying to suppress a smile.
Rika will shake the hand carefully because it probably like envelops Rika's whole hand. But he'll still shake it and say, "Yeah, Rika Anders, nice to meet you. No titles as of yet or nickname besides what I'm gonna go by. When I can actually leave this place again."
Julie comes over and hugs Boris. I don't know if you're in a crazy old geezer, but wherever you are our crazy old geezer, if that is the case.
Yeah. Boris kind of returns the hug with one hand.
Did you hear? We went and pushed Iron Man Solutions shit in last night.
Good. It's good. It's good. This require special food. And he just vanishes into the kitchen and comes back roughly 5 minutes later with 4 bowls, or actually 3 human-sized bowls and 1 Boris-sized bowl. And hands each of you a bowl of steaming beef stew, which is the traditional Boris happy times food.
Oh, that looks good. No offense, Julie, but
I know.
having some protein is nice in your dish.
Yeah, I have to. It is convenient sometimes to get chicken. I'm not saying I'm fully vegan. I'm just mostly, but it's I'm not letting myself out of this celebration. She is eating in this. She doesn't seem to be like fanatical about it. She eats her and so Boris, do you have any more of that vodka or because yeah, it is time for celebration.
Boris looks at Julie. Those bear shit in woods. Of course I have vodka.
All right.
Rika's
Boris,
kind of grinning at that.
Boris. Yeah, go ahead.
Ava just looks slightly desperate at the 2 bowls. She's like, how the fuck am I ever going to finish 2 bowls of food?
Boris comes back with a huge ass 5-liter bottle of vodka with some Russian writing on it. Ava, you'd read it's called Russian Standard. And if you can read the fine print, it says like extra strong triple distilled,
Oh boy.
which would roughly translate for you as not fit for human consumption.
Yeah. Ava's look of desperation doesn't change.
Comes back with like 4 ceramic mugs because Boris is vintage like that.
He
Pours
just seems to smile and just waits for her vodka to be served.
everyone like a freaking full mug, like 250 mils. That's like 5 or 6 shots worth of vodka.
Oh boy.
And
Oh,
it's
no.
chilled because he's a proper Russian and knows that vodka is supposed to be served at exactly 4 degrees centigrade. So it's slightly chilled, so you can feel all the flavor.
Julie just smells it. And she just says, "Nastrovi," and drinks.
No zdrovi! Boris just like downs the whole cup.
Julie does not do this. But
Rika kind of smells the drink as well and makes a comment under his breath before trying it. Not as carefully as he probably should, but he'll try it. But he'll take roughly the equivalent of a shot.
Come on, it's good for you. You put hair on chest.
Ava luckily knows what she's getting into, so she'll just drink.
Boris just plumps cross-legged on the floor, probably making the whole furniture just jump about an inch. He,
Rika's probably breathing a little heavily after the sip because he's not used to that strong a drink.
it's like drinking battery acid, for lack of a better term. But out of my generosity, I'm not gonna ask you to do stamina rolls yet.
Oh, I was getting ready for that.
Yet. Keyword here, yet. So, where do you come from? What is your story?
Actually from around here. Parents were Japanese for the most part. My grandmother kind of taught me a lot of stuff about this sort of about everything that she could without basically, I guess, revealing that, hey, I know magic. So as these two have put it, I have come in a bit more prepared, I guess, than others, but that's not saying much apparently because I still have no idea what's going on for the most part. But
Quite
I'm
alright.
reading. I'm good. I'll catch up one day. What the hell's going on?
Patience. No one is born already taught. Is process. Take time.
That's what I've been hearing. How about you? Judging from the singing and the penchant for vodka, I'm assuming you're Russian.
He nods.
So, how did you get here? Out of curiosity.
You see a surprised look on Boris's face, and looks at Julie, looks at Ava, says, interesting you ask this. Taking into account that nobody looks particularly at Ava with a death stare. Bother to ask me this before.
Ava turns slightly red on her cheeks, like, might be the vodka though, and she'll just take a big sip.
I kind of asked Tasha, but she told me to. What was it? None of your fucking business or something like that. So I just thought it was off limits.
Tasha is wonderful with people.
I know, but like it's kind of personal, and I knew that some people have lost people. I didn't want to pry.
Is short story long. Is big problem in New York. Big technocracy takeover a couple of years ago. New York is big city, is important city, is city with important places. We want technocracy out. Call came out. Whoever was strongest, whoever had nothing important to do, I came here. It's that simple.
Makes sense. I mean, from what I understand, yeah, those men in black definitely have the men in black suits definitely have a hold on the city. Considering the fact that they were tracking me before I even knew what was going on. Rika takes another shot and regrets it immediately.
Yes. Technocracy, idiots, for lack of better words. But fanatical idiots. So let's take care.
Yeah, yeah, I'm definitely beginning to understand that. And it's also why I haven't really left until I have a fake ID, more or less.
Talk to Tasha.
I have.
She not great with people, she great with papers.
That's good. Yeah, we talked with her already. She should be getting it in order, but there's it. I imagine it takes time.
Time for Tasha to be in right mood. Make yourself comfortable. It takes time.
Fair enough.
So, any other news? You see, scans the three of you.
Mm, not, not that I remember. No. Um. Well, there's some plans, but it's not like anything. It's kind of long-term plans, so nothing. Just like at this time, I don't think so. Anyway.
Just don't get yourself killed or hurt. There's only so much I can fix.
I think I'm getting somewhat good at. I think I can recover from some things actually now. I can't extend it to others, but
Time. Healing is subtle art. Takes time. Have patience.
Fortunately, I was never overly patient, but I'm gonna have to learn. That's for sure. According to everyone here, it just everything takes time. So I'm just gonna figure things out there.
Well, you have nothing better to do, so
Exactly. Fortunately, from what I understand, I still have my personal goal of making friends with the library. Because apparently that's sentient, I've heard.
no, library is nice right now. Library is good. It's okay.
Oh, good. Because I definitely want to take a look around it and start reading some books about all this stuff.
Well, if you want to, we can introduce you to the guardian of this chantry, who is living in the library.
That sounds intimidating, but probably a good idea.
well, one step at a time.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely not now, but soon, I would say.
Sure.
It,
Anytime.
it, it sounds like something I should do to begin with. Do they run the. So who runs the chantry anyway? Is it the guardian or.
No, guardian is like bodyguard.
Oh, okay.
Uh, we kind of run it, I think.
Yes, group decisions, full democracy. Stalin would be proud.
Julie just kind of shakes her head.
Ava gives Boris a very flat look.
It's not my fault you don't listen.
I don't listen.
Not you, you. All of you.
Hmm. I'm afraid I missed your suggestion regarding leadership of this Chantry then.
Yeah, I said me and Tasha take a step back and you do what you wanna do, but just do something.
But
We
we are
did?
doing stuff. Right?
Ava just shrugs. We have a structure, although I guess at this point it would need to be revised again, since we have some new members and lost some old ones.
Ooh,
You're
that
starting to
does.
sound more like Nausicaa each day.
That's not necessarily a bad thing.
Ahem.
Julie just looks at you, somewhat concerned. Just don't, not too much, please. I mean, I like her and all, but
I don't think anyone can, even if they want to, be as Nausicaa. She's quite unique.
yeah.
I met her. She helped save my life, but yeah, she's a little. She's interesting. Not necessarily a bad person, from what I can understand, though. She did, after all, save my life when I awakened, whatever the
Well,
term would be.
Definitely not a bad person.
Ahem.
she just
She
takes
is
a
not
little
Boris.
while to getting used to. There's a certain way about her, like Boris. It also takes a little while to fully
Get used
appreciate
to.
Boris and all his charms.
Yeah, I agree.
I keep you fed. I keep you drunk. I take care of your weed. What
Yeah.
more do you want from life?
Well, I don't know if you've noticed that I haven't been getting weed for a while.
Your life, your choice.
Yeah.
Hmm. If I'm going to look into your grandmother, she kind of looks at Rika and then looks back at Boris. I might appreciate something of a smoke.
Something of what now?
Boris shoots his hand into the pocket of his robes, pulls out a small leather bag, tosses it on the table.
Thank you. She'll just take out what she needs and then hands it back.
Takes it, puts it back. There's this very, very potent smell of weed coming from that little bag. And also a slight smell of mint, because, yeah, Boris mixes his weed with all manners of interesting stuff.
Everyone will see that there is a bit of a reaction for Julie as she just kind of perks up a little, but only for a moment or two as she just relaxes. She says,
Ava will tuck it away. So, oh, sorry. Please go ahead.
Oh no, I didn't have much to say. I was just gonna try to keep a conversation rolling, so to speak.
Well, I was interested. Your awakening. What happened? Can you, if you don't mind talking about it, if you do, that's for you.
Oh no, it's fine. I was reading through my grandmother's spell book just idly when when I swatted a fly in my apartment. It burst into flames, landed on the couch, and the rest of the apartment caught fire. So after getting out of the building, there was some guy watching me, and every instinct inside me told me to run. So I did. Quite literally, Nausicaa and Julie ran into me, and I they kind of picked me up and dragged me here, so to speak, under fire. And I've been kind of staying here since.
Mm-hmm. So you mentioned that you're trying to, get some magic going. I was wondering what kind of effect you had set off during your awakening. Because,
I just set the place on fire.
yeah, Boris, isn't it that we all have an effect during our awakening that's tied to our, well, the sphere that we're strongest at, so naturally?
Usually, that is how it happens, but the odd situations have happened where something else pops up. Throwing fireballs. He looks at Ava. Another one of you. Great.
I've never thrown a fireball. And you
But
know that
hermetic then.
I'm not a forces mage.
What is so hard about making fireball? Boris just extends his hand, snaps his fingers, and the little fireball just appears on top of his fingers.
Show off. She'll say in Russian.
He blows on it and extinguishes it.
That was kind of cool.
It's not show off, it's demonstration.
It was show off, but it's fine.
And he quickly snaps into Russian. I can do a lot of different things if I want to show off to the newbie.
I know.
Rika says something in Japanese, basically the equivalent of I could speak a different language if I wanted to, too.
Do I have Japanese? I do not have Japanese, I believe. The word is I do not have Japanese yet. I do have Mandarin, though.
Ava's character concept slowly switches into dictionary. Google Translate.
Google Translate. I apologize. I understand it's not polite to speak a language we others
It's
don't
okay.
understand. No, I do apologize.
It's good to keep things away from certain people. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Actually, it might be helpful if I would teach everybody a little bit of sign language at some point.
You have other ways of talking to people without doing anything.
I know.
Yeah, we did so last night. That was actually kind of cool. I mean, communicating with each other's thoughts, like it's it's it takes getting used to, but it's really convenient and really good.
Well, it's something that is definitely handy if we're going to have any other interactions like last night, which I'm sure we will at some point. I'm glad I was able to make myself somewhat useful.
Did you all come back in one piece?
Yes.
Then it's good.
Hmm.
So, as he looks at Rika, try and do something. Show us some magic.
I haven't actually practiced any yet, but I'll see what I can do. I've just been studying the fundamentals, but let me get my grandmother's spell book and I'll see what I can do. Hopefully, I don't set the chantry on fire or something like my apartment. He'll mumble under his breath as he goes to get the spell book from the room he's using right now.
He Boris leans into to Ava and whispers something in Russian into her ear. Where did you find this weird girl?
It's not a girl.
Seriously, first Nausicaa, then this guy?
Ava will suppress the severe urge to face palm right now. If it was up to you, there would be nothing but verbena in this chantry.
Of course.
And I did not get him. It was actually Julia Nausicaa who got him from the...
Julie and Nausicaa work together. Even though this conversation is fully in Russian, you would get the names mentioned, Pete.
Actually, Ava's talking English because she just got called out for, like, being impolite by speaking in a language people don't understand, so...
Yeah, we work together. Is that? Yeah.
He basically like snaps his head towards Julie and says, in English this time, I'm willing to bet that you became wiser, not that Nausicaa is starting to become human. There's a bit of a grin on his face.
Well, when the situation is what it is, you kind of tend to focus when you know that guns are a thing, and yeah.
We're not all as powerful as you that we can take the technocracy single-handedly.
Did not say take the technocracy single-handedly. I said do something like you did last night.
I wasn't referring to last night.
Rika will return shortly after going to the room with a spell book and a wand with some Japanese characters written on it.
Boris basically scans you again, looks at the kind of stops like at the wand and the book, squints a little, nods to himself.
All right, so like I said, I haven't done anything yet, but I'm gonna try. If it's okay, I'll try. I'll try a simple spell from the book and see what happens.
Boris nods. You need anything?
Piece of chalk, maybe. I'm not
Pull-
sure.
He pulls it out from his pocket, puts it on the table like this big freaking piece of. It looks more like a small brick, but it's white, and you'd pretty much figure out it's chalk.
I mean,
Huh.
also has chalk, which is a little bit more human-sized.
Nothing with Boris is human-sized. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Oh. Rika will take the human-sized chalk and start writing out something in Japanese that would. I'm trying to figure out what would even be a good starting spell for Rika to cast. Let's see.
You've got some choices. Looking at
Yeah.
your sphere spread.
Yeah, I have some choices. I have quite a few choices. It's just a matter of figuring out which one I want to use.
Okay, let me bend the situation a little in your favor.
Okay.
Boris goes to the kitchen, comes back with a little tea candle, snaps his fingers on top of it, lights it, puts it on the table. If you do things with fire, here's some fire to start you off.
All right. Let's see if I can make this fire. Let's try making the fire consume the candle faster. Something simple. Let's see here. So that would be roll 2d10.
Yep.
Would help if I typed it right.
Happens to all of us.
Holy crap!
Nice. Okay, would you care to describe how you enlarge this flame?
The flame kind of like starts slowly growing up first, and then the candle bursts into flames and is consumed all at once, and probably not in a rather messy manner. It almost explodes. I think it's a good way to describe with a ball of wax.
Alpha has her wand out.
Boris quickly downs his second cup of vodka, puts the cup on top of the flame to extinguish everything. And while peeling a bit of wax from his forehead. Okay, messy, but effective.
That was a little surprising, but kind of cool. Wow. Okay.
Like I said, messy but effective.
Julie takes another swig of her vodka.
In
Yeah,
case you want to practice more, bottom cupboard on the left in kitchen. Big extinguisher.
Thank you. I will definitely have to probably get a smaller one for my room just in case I practice more.
Also, there's a room upstairs that one of us used to use, who was also rather proficient with fire.
Just Go on the roof if you want to play with fire.
You really want to have your plants set on fire?
Good luck.
Well, maybe not yours, but there's also Grace's.
Do you think I take sides when protecting the plants upstairs?
I don't know. I would not assume.
Then don't. Everything is safe. If I say it's safe, it's safe.
Yes, sir.
Rika's still looking mildly surprised at the explosion of wax.
Julie will pass over his mug and just like clink it with him and just says, "Cheers on your first control. Well, intentional use of magic."
Thank you. Sure. He'll take a third equivalent of a third shot.
Okay, let's have some fun. Everyone, give me a stamina roll.
Yay, same dice pool.
Yep. Me too. Ow.
Jesus Christ.
Like a champ.
Julie's holding.
Me too.
Yeah. The girls get a bit starry-eyed. Just a bit. Because this is strong. Rika takes it like a fucking champ.
Apparently. Whew. So, I feel like I'm really gonna have to practice control. But that's not surprising right now.
You took your first step. It's important.
Yeah.
So, questions.
I guess my biggest question would be, how do I figure out what I'm good at
Practice.
besides fire?
Practice and practice.
Okay, I could definitely understand that.
Is process of how Tasha like to call trial and fuck up.
There's that too. But, I mean, I've got a couple of hours. If you want to, if you're up for it, we can go into my room and, relax and go over some of the sphere. Well, not like a class in that sense, but just some of the ground rules, groundwork. There are
Boris gives Zava the side eye.
certain kinds of, well, they're called spheres. There's different aspects of reality, essentially, and through them we manipulate reality, essentially. So, I mean, if you're up for it.
Yeah, I mean, why not? I definitely want to learn a lot more of what's going on and maybe expand my repertoire a bit more when I actually know what my repertoire is.
Great. Julie will take both your and her own glass and get up. And she'll say, "All right, come on, let's go."
All right.
And she will leave with Rika, and they will go to her room.
Rika, before you go.
Yeah?
Would you mind if I borrow that wand of yours?
Oh, yeah, just return it when you can.
Tomorrow
Not
morning,
my-
that's good enough for you?
Hmm?
Tomorrow morning, is that good enough for you?
Yeah, that should be fine. Thanks for looking into all this for me, by the way.
It's no problem.
Rika will hand over the wand to Ava. Ava.
Mhm.
Sorry, I mispronounced that.
It really
I
doesn't
knew
matter.
someone. I knew someone named Ava in another game, so I kind of
Hmm.
associated it with that for a sec.
That is totally fine. I basically play up with both.
Okay.
So
With all her like 20 names.
hey. It's not 20. It's 21 now.
Oh god.
Yeah. Boris leans into Eva as the two of them exit the room. And in Russian, relax in Julie's room. Is this happening again?
Ava just shrugs. It's their decision, not mine, not yours.
Not exactly what I had in mind when I said that it wouldn't be a problem to be more of you.
Oh my god.
Good pun, by the way. Good pun.
Actually, when Boris says more of you, there's just this quick painful look on Ava's face, but then she'll just refill her glass with vodka and her cup with vodka and take a big sip again.
Boris stands up and says, well, somebody needs to make dinner, and I don't see any volunteers, so might as well go to kitchen. And he takes the bottle from in front of Ava. It's not that I'm not proud to see you drink, it's just I don't want to find you sleeping under table.
Ava shrugs. If you need help in the kitchen, I can. I have nothing to do yet.
No. Go do your things.
All right, I'll see you tomorrow morning then.
You don't come down to dinner?
I'll probably be asleep on my bed.
You want quick snack?
I think I'm still good. She just scoops both the bowl that Julie made and the one that Boris gave her with the stew.
Boris pops into the kitchen, pops out with the little plate, tea plate, with like a little mound of stew. And he just pushes it towards Ava. You got another mouth to feed up there. So
He's getting fat.
no, he's getting healthy.
Fine. And she'll take that as well. Basically, having her hands full right now, she'll go back to her room.
And with that, I do believe this scene will come to a close. Thank you very much.
Alright.
Unless there is anything else.
Nope. I think I'm good. At least.
Okay.
Mhm.
And yeah, thank you very much, players, for playing, watchers for watching, ST for cameoing, I suppose. And we'll see you all next time.
Might want to stop it.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I'm
It's-
waiting. I pressed it and it's not fucking.
Oh boy.
Oh no.
I did press stop like 10 seconds ago, at least.
We're forced to play on.
There we go. What?
Still says live.
This is
Yeah,
live.
it came up with a thing that says the hangout cannot be, or the transmission can't be stopped. Try again later.
It's
Technocracy
found us.
It literally said that. That's
Oh Jesus.
Try and refresh the page.
That's amazing.
Wow. Yeah.